EAL Learners. What is an EAL learner? It is a pupil whose first language is known or believed to be other than English. First language is defined as a language to which a child was initially exposed to during early development and continues to be exposed to this language. Conte adds to this by stating that an EAL learner is an umbrella term for many different groups of children who bring a vast range of experience and knowledge of language, culture, schooling and literacies. The challenges regarding EAL learners is that they come from diverse backgrounds. They are said to be migrants who follow families coming to the UK. They are also said to be children of refugees from war-torn countries with the possibility of needing psychological help. In a January 2016 BBC News article, it is stated that David Cameron has said that the UK will accept 20,000 refugees from Syria by 2020. Due to the migrants, refugees and asylum seekers coming from a wide range of countries and language backgrounds, this is challenging and puts pressure on teachers as a range of teaching strategies need to be implemented in order to meet the individual needs of each EAL learner. At my workplace setting, a pupil migrated from Portugal to England at the start of the academic year. The class teacher told me that the pupil did not know much English at all, but has made significant improvements. So, how did the teacher best meet the needs of the EAL pupil? Through my observations, the teacher used interactive and collaborative teaching, such as the use of the interactive whiteboard, as well as plenty of group work on tables, alongside class discussions and talk partners throughout each subject. The teacher also placed the EAL pupil next to a more capable pupil in order to enhance learning through discussions and peer support. Through his research with children with special needs, Vygotsky argued that all learning is social in origin and that young children develop and learn through externalized social interactions with their teachers and their peers. As they grow, they develop the capacity to internalize the interactions and learn more independently. He used the idea of zone of proximal development to describe in a theoretical way this social mediation between teachers and pupils, suggesting that children learn interactively through problem solving, under adult guidance or in collaboration with more capable peers. Nieto uses Vygotsky's theories to develop a model to describe kinds of learning that will best support bilingual learners. She makes the point that it will promote learning for all children. The four main elements of her model are that learning is actively constructed, learning grows from and builds on the learner's prior experiences, that there are cultural differences in the way children learn, and that learning is socially mediated and develops in cultural contexts. In a flagship study, Wood, Bruner and Ross introduced the term scaffolding to describe a process which enables a child to novice, to solve a problem, carry out a task or achieve a goal which will be beyond his unassisted efforts. McKay, in the area of assessing young EAL learners, defines scaffolding as the means by which teachers give children cognitive support and language support, usually by talking through a task with children and thus helping them learn. Throughout my observations on work placement, I noticed that the class teacher encouraged the EAL learner to use their first language whenever possible. A specific example was when the class was learning about Henry VIII and his 6 wives. The teacher asked the EAL pupil how to say divorced, beheaded, died and survived in Portuguese, and due to the pupil's fluency in Portuguese, she was able to respond, and the whole class was involved in repeating the Portuguese words. But there is debate about whether home language should be spoken in the classroom. In a report on school approaches to the education of EAL students, a Year 4 teacher stated that the stronger they are in their first language really helps them with another language. Another teacher stated that they're never going to learn because they'll always revert back to ask all the questions and everything else in their own language. However, advice from the Bullet report states that no child should be expected to cast off language and culture of their home as he crosses the school threshold, nor to live and act as though school and home represent two totally separate and different cultures. So, what more could the teacher have done? Well, role play to make learning memorable and to encourage empathy, by providing stories in the child's home language and using stories with plenty of visuals and images to enhance understanding, And parent school involvement, so for example, a family member could be invited into the class to support the child in talking about their visits to their country of origin, which can then lead to fascinating discussions, such as the one described in Conte 2003 about an unusual medical treatment witnessed by a Year 3 child on a visit to Pakistan. Thank you for listening.